What if a person could disappear without leaving behind a beginning or an end? No confirmed last sighting, no exact date of disappearance, no clear moment when life stopped and absence began. Just a name in a file and a question no one knows how to answer. This case does not start with a scream, a struggle, or a crime scene. It starts with a gap so large that investigators cannot even agree on when the person went missing. Somewhere in the United States, a missing person file exists with no confirmed date. The paperwork is incomplete, the timeline is fragmented, and every attempt to rebuild the story leads back to uncertainty. The individual lived an ordinary life, nothing dramatic, no known enemies, no history of violence or instability. They held a job, paid bills, spoke with family, moved through daily routines that left traces everywhere until those traces quietly stopped. Friends cannot agree on the last time they saw them. One remembers a conversation that might have been weeks earlier. Another recalls a phone call that could have happened months before. None of it can be verified. There is no last message, no farewell, no sudden break that stands out. At some point, the silence simply became permanent. When relatives finally contacted authorities, they could not provide a precise date, only a range, a window of time so wide that it erased the possibility of a clear starting point. Investigators searched financial records. Transactions ended, but not abruptly. They faded. A missed payment here, an inactive account there. Phone data offered little help. The device stopped connecting to towers, but no one could say when it was last active. There was no final ping, no last call. The residence showed no signs of violence. Personal belongings remained. Clothes were still in place. Important documents were untouched. It did not look like someone preparing to leave. It did not look like someone being taken. It looked unfinished. Neighbors remembered nothing unusual. No raised voices. No late-night activity. No unfamiliar vehicles. Because no date could be confirmed, surveillance footage was nearly useless. Investigators did not know which day to review, which week mattered, which moment to freeze in time. The case stalled almost immediately. Without a timeline, there was no sequence of events. Without a sequence, there were no leads. Without leads, the file grew cold before it ever became warm. Over time, theories began to surface. Some suggested the person left voluntarily, slowly distancing themselves until they vanished. Others believed something sudden happened, hidden by the lack of witnesses. But every theory depended on knowing when, and that answer never came. The file was updated sporadically. A note added, a possibility crossed out, then nothing. Years passed. New investigators reviewed the case and reached the same conclusion. Without a date, there was no anchor. Without an anchor, the case drifted. Today the file remains open, not because there is active movement, but because there is no proof the person is gone forever. They are missing in the most unsettling way possible, not defined by a moment, not tied to a place, just absent. And somewhere between the last confirmed memory and the present day, a life slipped out of focus. If no one can say when a person disappeared, how can anyone say what happened to them? Next time, a case where the last sighting was clear, but the truth was not.